Hello students, my name is Manimugdha Medhi, Assistant Professor, Social Work Program, Department of Humanities and Social Sciences. We have discussed about various aspects of social casework, and we have also discussed about the history of social casework. We have discussed about the values of social casework, right? We have discussed about the objectives, functions, scopes of social casework. So basically it's working with individuals, as we all know, and it is a very interesting to know that how social case work is useful as a method of social work. So in today's video we will learn about casework as a method of social work. So here, as we have already discussed, social casework is related to psychosocial treatment of the client who is in problem and seeks the help of caseworker or problem-solving agencies. So social casework establishes adjustments between individual capacities and resources. It consists of the study of mental, emotional, and social factors. We would rather say, psychological rather than mental. So, in social casework, an individual group or situation or phenomena is basically recognized as a unit of study, and various units are studied properly, like group work or community organization. So, we have already discussed about social casework, which deals with the individuals, right? And and we help individuals adjust to their problems or adjust to their solutions, which we can show them and let them decide what to do with their life. We can also provide individual. We can make them motivate for their individual capacities and get their resources. So, how social casework is used as a method? So, social casework, as taught and practiced in India today, is understood as an approach to help individuals, right? So, as a method of social work profession, it seeks to help individuals in a systematic way based on knowledge of human behavior and various tested approaches. So, basically, it seeks to help individuals in a systematic way. Okay. Every individual child or adult, in order to grow and develop, has various needs, right? That is, it can be psychological needs, it can be physical needs and social needs, which they needed to fulfill. So in this task, he or she has to interact with different types of people and face different environmental conditions. So in some cases, people may not be able to deal with those things, right? An individual or a child or an adult, they may not be able to fulfill their needs. They may not be able to fulfill their psychological needs, and they may not be able to fulfill their physical needs or social needs. Okay, so that's when the problem occurs. Okay, so very often the individual fails in his attempts, right? Fully or partially, and sometimes he has to face non-helpful reactions of the people around him. It also can be the lack of resources or non-fulfillment of needs or unpleasant social reactions and unfavorable physical conditions. These make human development and functioning difficult and sometimes impossible. So that is where the problem arises for the individual, right? As individual under these stressful conditions, they seek help, and sometimes from near and dear ones, like sometimes they go to their parents, like siblings or friends or peer groups or their supervisor, right? So, and sometimes from the professionals, that is, it can be a priest also, it can be a teacher also, it can be a lawyer also, it can be a doctor also, so, and it can be a social worker or a counselor or a psychologist or a psychiatrist also. So when the stressful situations go beyond his normal level or beyond his coping level, that time he will definitely seek help from the professionals. So that is where casework comes in. H.H. Perlman, she was a very, very famous caseworker at those times. She tried to understand the process of helping individuals in terms of a person. Okay, a person with a problem comes to a place, that is an agency, where the professional representative, which is a trained person or the social worker, helps him by a given process. So these are generally known as the components of social casework. That is the 5 P's of social casework, okay, which we will study in our simultaneous videos and classes. So where a person, that is the client, who has some problem, right? So the person has a problem, he goes to a place. Well, what place? An agency, or it may be an NGO, it may be an agency, it can be a house where the expert is there, okay, or it can be a hospital. So it can be an agency, okay, where a professional representative, the professional representative can be anyone, okay, like um, it can be a doctor, or it can be a social worker, it can be a psychologist. So that trained person will be a professional representative, which helps in giving, which helps in by given process. So accordingly, if it comes to social worker, that when the professional representative is the social worker, then the social worker will help them with a specific process, which also we will study in our future classes. So Paulman does define social casework as a process used by certain human welfare agencies to help individuals to cope more effectively with their problems in social functioning. So basically, it's a process used by certain human welfare agencies, right, like NGOs, or or the individual caseworker, which helps in which help all the individuals to cope more effectively with their problems in social function. So here we come with the term social functioning. That is, this concept has gained quite an important place in our social casework, okay. So this concept fully explains the meaning of the adjective social used with the word casework, and helps in differentiating it from the psycho work, that is psychotherapy. So there's a difference, like with psychological work and social work, okay. So we social workers basically deal with the social aspects of the client and make it a social, make him establish some kind of social function. So social casework enables an individual to obtain a higher level of social functioning through an interpersonal transaction, or face-to-face or person-to-person encounter. So we what we generally do is make social case, make our individual clients to obtain a very high level of social functioning, because when they comes with a problem, that time they will have a very low level of social functioning, right? They won't be socially active at all. They will be depressed, or they'll be anxious, or they'll be frightened. So it can be anything. So when this kind of things happen, the social worker, they will enable the individual, they will try to enable the individual with more interpersonal transaction or face-to-face counseling, okay. So the caseworker helps the client to act in order to achieve some personal or social goals by utilizing the available resources in terms of strength of personality of the client, his social system, or material provisions available in the community and or agency. So the caseworker, basically how he helps the client, he helps him achieve some personal or social goals, okay. The caseworker will make some personal and social goals for the client, which the client will try to achieve. And how he will achieve? By utilizing the available resources in terms of his personality, whatever he wants to use, okay. And the client will also use he can use the social system or the material provisions available in the community, okay. The caseworker's knowledge and expertise and material resources are used as tools to inject strength in the person to enable him to move more satisfyingly in the social situation and he finds difficult to deal with. So basically, with the caseworker's knowledge and expertise and the material resources that the client will get from either the society or either the caseworker, this will inject some strength into the persons, or some kind of self-confidence into the clients, uh, uh, into the client, right? And to enable them to move more satisfyingly in the social situation, which earlier he found difficult, okay. So we will have to make them enable his social functioning thing. So basically, we come to the conclusion that this is how a casework becomes not only a primary method, but also one of the most important method of social work. And it aims to help individuals in a very, very systematic way, and based on the knowledge of human behavior and various techniques, approaches, models, therapies, etc. So this is how casework becomes so important in our day-to-day lives. And it is one of the most important case, method which is also a direct method, or which is also called as primary method. It is one of the most important methods in social casework. So that is how we come to know that social work, casework as a method of social work. So we have generally come to the end of the unit here, and with this we have we have come to a conclusion that social work, social casework basically deals with individuals to help them enable their social functioning, to make them adjust to their social relationships, and to enable them with more self-confidence or more ability towards themselves, and make them more efficient and self-determined to help themselves. Okay, so basically you need to remember that help others to help themselves. So this is a kind of the motto of social work. I don't know who have given it, but it's a very general term that help someone to help themselves. Okay. So I know that you will have a lot of doubts, and we will discuss these doubts in our simultaneous classes and later videos. Okay, you can, if you are seeing this, you can take questions, take notes, and directly reach me, and you can also reach me through the classes and through the groups, and uh, make yourself, enable yourself to grow. Okay, because this is the time where we study the most, and we can retain so many things. And since you have chosen the social work as a profession, so definitely we will casework will help you in making you a more proficient social worker, along with the methods of group work and community organization, or social action, or research, or social welfare administration. Okay, so see you in our next videos. Thank you so much for listening so calmly. Okay.